The playground dispute. My grandparents owned a vacant lot next to their house, which they used as extra yard space. When my sister and I were born, Grandpa demolished an old shed on the lot and built a playground from scratch. It was every kid's dream: swings, slides, and a 2-story playhouse, all crafted with his own hands. We spent countless hours there growing up, and after we outgrew it, my grandparents allowed neighborhood kids to use it without issue. Years later, after my grandparents passed away, my mom inherited their house. When I found out I was pregnant, my husband, Andre, and I began house hunting in earnest. My mom suggested we buy my grandparents' house to keep it in the family. The house was in great condition, had no homeowners association, and was near a good school. We purchased it at a fantastic price and moved in quickly. Soon after, we noticed neighborhood parents bringing their kids to the playground. At first, we didn't mind and used the opportunity to introduce ourselves. The neighbors were friendly, mostly young couples with children who had moved to the street in recent years. Trouble started one afternoon when I glanced out the window and saw a child in a red shirt standing on the roof of the 2-story playhouse, nearly 10 feet off the ground. Alarmed, I rushed outside, assuming he was alone, and told him to get down immediately. That's when a woman, his mother, stormed over, yelling at me to mind my own business and not tell her kid what to do. I confirmed she was his mother and politely asked her to ensure her son climbed down safely. She snapped back, insisting I had no authority over them. I calmly explained that this was my property, and I could set rules. At that moment, her son fell while climbing down. Thankfully, he landed on the grass and was unhurt, though he cried loudly. He ran to his mother, who scooped him up and threatened to sue me if he'd been injured. I warned her I'd call the police if she didn't leave. She hurled insults, but eventually left. Andre was concerned that other parents might sue us if their kids got hurt on our playground. The thought hadn't crossed my mind, but it made sense. To protect ourselves, we installed a fence around the playground. When neighbors asked about the fence, I explained the incident with a woman, whom I'll call Karen. Word spread, and I later heard that other parents had shunned Karen, refusing to let their kids play with hers. I feel guilty that her son is being punished for her behavior. Perhaps I should have just said we wanted a fence without mentioning Karen. Was I wrong? Verdict: you're not the idiot. In today's litigious world, where medical bills are astronomical and lawsuits are common, you were wise to protect your property with a fence. Explaining why you put it up was reasonable to avoid being shunned yourself. It's unfortunate that Karen's son is affected, but her actions caused the fallout, not yours. However, be aware that a playground could be considered an attractive nuisance, meaning you might still be liable if kids sneak in and get hurt. Consult a local lawyer to ensure you're fully protected. Mentioning Karen's role might have been a touch vengeful, even if deserved. Next time, consider a more neutral explanation to avoid neighborhood drama. Inviting a few parents and kids for supervised playdates could help mend fences and build goodwill. The sister-in-law's wardrobe. My younger brother's fiancée, whom I'll call Sarah, is 26 and has been dating my brother since she was 18. I've always had a decent relationship with her, but one issue has caused tension: her clothing choices. Sarah often wears revealing outfits, which didn't bother me initially. However, as her relationship with my brother grew serious, my parents, and I felt she should dress more conservatively, especially since she'll soon be a wife and potentially a mother. We raised the issue with my brother, but he got defensive, telling us to mind our own business. After their engagement, we hoped Sarah would adopt a more serious style, but her outfits became even more revealing. She dresses appropriately for family events like Christmas or Thanksgiving, but for casual occasions, her birthday, my brother's birthday, or outings with friends, she wears tight or skimpy clothing. Last week, at my brother's birthday party, my parents and I agreed I'd confront her if she dressed inappropriately. Sure enough, she wore skin-tight pants and a crop top that barely covered her. I pulled her aside and told her she should dress like a serious engaged woman, as her outfits were disrespectful to my brother and our family. She cursed me out, told my brother, and he exploded, kicking me and our parents out of the party. Some friends and relatives agree that Sarah's clothing is inappropriate but think I overstepped by confronting her. My brother's friends, however, unanimously call me the idiot, saying it's none of my business how she dresses. Am I wrong? Verdict: yes, you're the idiot. Sarah's clothing choices are her own, and they don't affect you. Your insistence on controlling her wardrobe is judgmental and outdated. Marriage doesn't require women to dress a certain way, and Sarah already adjusts her style for family events, showing respect. Calling your brother spineless for defending her is unfair. He's standing up for his fiancée's autonomy. You owe Sarah a sincere apology and should refrain from commenting on anyone's clothing unless it's to offer a compliment. Reflect on why you feel entitled to dictate her choices. Your focus on her appearance suggests deeper biases that need addressing. The Colorado hiking trippy grew up in Colorado, where I started climbing the state's 14,000-foot peaks. Before I could finish all 58, my family moved to Ohio. Now I return every year to tackle the remaining 9: Ellingwood, Blanca, Little, Bear, Sunlight, Iolas, Wyndham, Red Cloud, Sunshine, and San Luis, which I've planned as my final climb. The first 6 are challenging, requiring long backpacking trips, technical climbing, and, for Little Bear, ropes and helmets due to its danger. San Luis, my planned finisher, will be a solo moonlight hike, a personal milestone. My brother recently heard about my upcoming Colorado trip and asked me to take his kids along. I declined immediately, explaining the difficulty of my planned climbs. He suggested I rearrange my list to climb San Luis first and bring the kids. I explained that San Luis is a personal goal, not a kid-friendly hike. He accused me of being selfish, saying I don't spend enough time with his kids, make plans without considering others, and am stuck in adolescence. He and his wife can't afford a full vacation this year due to work, so they're pressuring me to take the kids. I'm 26, single, and have no interest in altering my trip. I plan to hike, visit breweries, attend baseball games with old friends, and enjoy Colorado's social scene. Babysitting my niece and nephew would mean scrapping those plans for kid-friendly activities. My family, including my mom, is giving me grief, claiming I need to settle down. My brother also mentioned that his kids miss me, which feels manipulative since I visit them every few weeks. I haven't told anyone, but I'm considering moving back to Colorado permanently, as Ohio doesn't suit me. Am I the idiot for refusing to take my niece and nephew? Verdict: you're not the idiot. Your trip is a personal endeavor, and the climbs you've planned are unsuitable for children, regardless of their age. Your brother's request is unreasonable, especially expecting a 26-year-old to take kids out of state for weeks. His accusations sound like jealousy over your freedom, and his claim that you don't spend enough time with his kids is manipulative. You're not obligated to sacrifice your plans to compensate for his family's vacation constraints. Your mother's push to settle down is irrelevant to this situation. Enjoy your trip, pursue your goals, and consider discussing your potential move to Colorado with your family later to avoid further conflict. The Hidden Child 4. Months ago, my friend invited me to watch a game at his place. His girlfriend brought her friend Morgan, 27, and we hit it off immediately. She was charming and attractive, so I asked my friend's girlfriend to set us up. She gave me Morgan's contact info, and we started texting. Early on, I asked if she had kids, explaining that I don't date single moms due to past experiences. She said she had no children and understood my stance. We went on 5 dates, each one enjoyable with great chemistry. After the 5th date, when Morgan stayed over, I looked her up on Facebook to add her. To my shock, her profile showed pictures of a child who was clearly hers, not a nephew as I initially hoped. I texted her, asking if she had a kid. She dodged the question at first, but eventually admitted she has a son. She explained that she doesn't mention him until she trusts someone, and she now trusts me. I felt betrayed, as she knew my stance on dating single moms. I told her I felt I'd wasted my time. Since we'd bought tickets together for an upcoming country concert, I sent her a Venmo request for her ticket, $50, and an additional $50 to cover part of the roughly $400 I'd spent on our 5 dates. I didn't ask for more since I earn well, but I felt she should cover the ticket. Morgan told my friend's girlfriend, who called me an idiot. My friend, however, supports me, arguing that Morgan lied and $100 is minor compared to what I spent. Am I the idiot? Verdict: everyone's at fault. Morgan was wrong to lie about having a child, especially knowing your clear boundary. That deception undermines trust, and you're justified in feeling misled. However, requesting money for dates and a ticket comes across as petty, especially since you enjoyed the dates at the time. Legally, you have no claim to the money, and pursuing it risks escalating the drama. The concert ticket is trickier. She should either return it or pay for it. But the $50 for past dates feels vindictive. Your friend's girlfriend likely knew Morgan had a kid, so her role in setting you up is questionable. In the future, check social media earlier to avoid surprises. Cut ties cleanly, learn from the experience, and move on without dragging out the conflict. The weight gain dilemma. When I met my boyfriend, 24, nearly a year ago, I was underweight. At 5'2" and 90 pounds, I struggled with low self-esteem and restricted my calorie intake, though I never developed an eating disorder. Over the past few months, I've worked on my self-image and gained weight, reaching a healthy 119 pounds. I eat a balanced diet, run for 90 minutes daily, and maintain a healthy BMI, as confirmed by my doctor. However, my boyfriend is less attracted to my body now. He says he loves me, but feels I don't look the same. We've had long discussions and arguments about this, and I'm torn. I promised not to gain more weight and to lose any additional pounds, but he still thinks I'm too fat. He'd be happy if I weighed 105 pounds. Not back to 90, but still lower than now. My doctor strongly advised against losing weight, and I agree, as I feel healthier now. But I love my boyfriend and don't want to lose him. He believes I'm selfish for not trying harder to lose weight, accusing me of not caring about his attraction to me. I've asked him to make changes in the past, like shaving his beard, which he did, so I feel hypocritical rejecting his request. Initially, I got angry, accusing him of not caring about my health. Now, I'm questioning if I'm being unreasonable. Am I the idiot? Verdict: you're not the idiot. Your boyfriend's insistence that you lose weight despite your healthy BMI, and doctor's advice is manipulative and unkind. A supportive partner would celebrate your journey to better health, not criticize your body. His claim that you're selfish for prioritizing your well-being is a red flag, as is his focus on your appearance over your health. While you asked him to shave his beard, that's a minor grooming choice, not a demand to alter his body. You deserve a partner who values you for more than your weight. Consider whether this relationship supports your growth and happiness. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, and don't compromise your health to please someone else.